What's going on, folks? What's going on? My screen is a little cloudy. Anyway, mm, it's all good. Got a picture of my grandmother in the back. Anyway, rest in peace to Mary Walla. Um, let's talk about something. First, I want to preface this by saying this is not a shot at anybody. This is not at anybody in particular. This is something I just noticed online. People dealing with each other in passing and stuff like that. How things happen. So here I am, 9:27 East Coast Standard Time. Talking about online friends, online friendship, you know, in the immortal words of the entertainer and rapper Kanye West, how many of us are real friends to the real end, you know? And I think there's pros and cons to, this whole online experience. I think it's important not to expect too much out of people that you meet on social media, that you meet on these different platforms. I mean, if you have some folks that you do connect with and collaborate with, that's great. But to be honest with you, everybody is not gonna link and see eye to eye. It could be various reasons why. Maybe, you're talking to somebody who's, married to somebody and, the husband may feel some type of way. What's going on, lovely kid Japan? Peace to you. You had a birthday. Happy belated birthday to you. Shout out to lovely kid Japan and her lovely family. But yeah, back to what I was saying. There's various reasons why online relationships or online friendships, to be specific, may, have its pros and cons or not work for you. Some people really link, some people really bond. You're welcome, Tina. No problem to you. Peace to you, though. Some people really link, some people really bond, some people don't. Not everybody is for everybody. Sometimes you have situations where, you were friends and then you're not friends anymore. The real, I guess, con to it is that when you don't get to know each other and you have a beef or blow up, it can become a very public thing. And, those are always unfortunate. That's always probably one of the downsides to being friends online and not really knowing each other, face to face and in person. But one of the pros is that it does change the game. You can communicate with people like such as Lovely Kid Japan, all the way across to Japan, to New York. I, speak to people in Tokyo. I speak to people in Australia. I can speak to people in London, India. I've spoken to people from all across the globe, but I haven't been over there yet. So there's definitely advantages to having online friends. There's definitely advantages to seeing people and interacting with people. And I also respect people's space because I realize that sometimes, you may know people and we may be cool from a distance, but people may not be comfortable meeting up with you in person, and that's just what it is. Like I said, sometimes you have a situation with like a Random Life production. She came to New York, she hollered at me, we did what we do, and it was a beautiful experience. Other folks maybe not so much, and that's cool. That's cool. Everybody has different things. Yes, it is awesome. New York to Japan. You already know. That's what it is, lovely kid Japan. I need to get out to Japan one of these days. But the point I'm trying to say is that everybody has different things going on. Baller. Who's a baller? I don't know if I'm a baller. Maybe you're a baller. But shout out to you, Drone Worship. I'm talking about online friendships. I'm talking about people communicating with each other. Is oh, you're the baller. Okay, yeah, well maybe you're the baller. Drone Worship. Thank you for letting us know. Everybody out there, whole world, Drone Worship is a baller. He said it. He said it. My turtle over there. Drone Worship is a baller. You see it. Anyway, like I said, he sees me on camera. Anyway, that's another story all in itself. Thank you for the two people here. Thank you for the two thumbs up. This is just me, postulating and giving my thoughts on, online friendships and whatnot. I think it's important not to expect too much from people. Not to expect to bond and connect with everybody. You may have 100,000 subscribers, tens of thousands of subscribers, and you may really connect with one or two people on a real deep level. Not everybody is going to become your best friend. Not everybody's going to become your friend offline. And it's important to be cordial with people. You know, Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with seeing people and just having interactions and experiences for what it is. I say it's important not to take advantage of people and misuse and abuse a relationship and whatnot. Sometimes people, use it as a way to try to beg people for money and ask for folks for favors, behind the scenes and stuff like that, which I never agree with. Let me see. The vision's no mere, but then the message. Okay, I see you playing the word game with me over there, drone worship. But I'll get back to that comment later. I don't know. I just feel like sometimes people expect too much when it comes to this whole online experience. I mean, it's good to be cordial. It's good to subscribe to people. It's good to go back and forth. It's good to see what people are doing. It's good to know, what's going on and what's round about, as it pertains to this whole online thing. Absolutely true. I found a real soul sister on YouTube, and I'm grateful for that. The biggest plus from online. Yeah, sometimes you do find, people that you can connect with and relate with and actually become friends with, lifelong friends with, or maybe relationships and stuff like that. But that's not everybody. And the thing is not to be mad at people or be upset with people if you don't click, if you don't bond as much as you thought you would. It's okay. And some people you will bond with, some people it takes time. I would encourage folks, over time to get to know people. It's hard enough to be friends with people in real life, or offline, as so to speak. So just trying to be friends with somebody online. Remember, you're doing it in a public space, so you're constantly trying to gauge the whole public aspect of your relationship with whatever privacy, issues that you may have, or private conversations that you may have on the side, and things that you want to grow with people and stuff like that. And it's important to try to gauge and get to know the person that you're talking about or talking to. I saw enough for 6 years on social media. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, hey, sometimes it's like that, lovely kid Japan. Sometimes you're on social media and you know what, things don't work out. It's kind of crazy out there. I mean, it's hard enough to try to find people to trust in real life, in regular life. Just doing it on social media, it's kind of crazy because if things work out, it's beautiful. Everything is fine. When things don't work out, then you run the risk of having this very public beef with somebody that you were cool. True, the Matrix. It's like going into the Matrix. Do, 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 do. But for the most part, just try to stay a solid individual, regardless of who you deal with, regardless of who you are. I try to tell people if you're the same person online that you are offline and vice versa, then you shouldn't have too many problems. It shouldn't be a problem when who you connect with and whatnot. The same type of people will gravitate towards you. If you have too many people around you that's full of drama and causing just confusion and disruption and stuff like that. Thank you, Lily Kid Japan. Then you find yourself in a situation where you may need to make some changes. And all too often I see people caught up in drama and nonsense and whatnot because you're worried about, trying to be a part of certain cliques, certain groups. You're caught up in gossip that don't matter. At least it seemed like it mattered at the point at the time. And you find yourself having to choose sides or trying not to choose sides. It can get real rough. The thing is to try to stay a solid individual, regardless of who you meet and what goes on, because you never know what's going to happen. And I usually don't like when all this stuff that goes on online trickles offline. I'm really you know, a big proponent of actually keeping things into perspective. No drama for me at all. I'm always, yeah, no, definitely. And we don't want drama to come lovely kid Japan, but the reality is people being people, they abuse it. But come on now, drama is so much fun. Yeah, well, yeah, you got to focus on positive, lovely kid Japan. Well, here's the thing about drama, and I'm gonna agree with you, drone worship. I'm gonna agree with you. Drama is fun. When you're looking at drama, it is fun. I look at it like a movie. Everybody loves to watch a great drama. You know, hey, what's going on, Art? Appreciate you. Thank you. The plants there, they're digging you too. But I agree with you. This drama can be fun when you put it into perspective from worship. Everybody likes to watch a good drama, like like you're watching a superhero movie or a thriller or some kind of suspense movie or whatever. Great drama, great soap opera is always good to watch from a distance. But when you're the subject of it, nobody really wants to be the subject of that drama, of that gossip, unless that's just who you are. I mean, then you got issues there. But for me, um, uh, Godzilla, that's funny. Godzilla, that's what it is. Now, but for me, I'm somebody, like I said, I can't deal with the drama and the nonsense all the time. So what I try to do is, if I'm dealing with somebody online, I take it sometimes with a grain of salt. If I find myself building a relationship with somebody online and it does get a little deeper, I try to respect who that person is as a person and the family and whatever conversations you may have personally with with somebody, and not put myself in a situation where I'm publicly gossiping or publicly warring. If I have a disagreement with somebody, I try to have that disagreement hashed out privately. Too many times, I see too many people who were online friends or friends through social media. Now all of a sudden they have a falling out, and the falling out becomes a public display, a public next. Uh, yeah, so yeah, definitely. If you don't walk in that person's path, then sometimes it's best you part ways. That's how I feel about that. But you find that out. And I find too many people out there. Maybe you're not mature enough. When it comes to dealing with these particular situations and stuff like that. Yeah, that's the best way to do it on YouTube. It's like a real life show. I don't even like the spotlight at half the time. Yeah, no, it could be something. It could definitely be something. I mean, my thing is like not to take any of these things too serious. I look at people and I try to take things for face value. If I make friends with people, if you're cool, we cool. Sometimes everybody doesn't know how to communicate, or folks don't may not know how to express, certain displeasures or dislikes that they may have with you. I try not to put too much pressure on people that I meet online. That's the thing. Everyone always takes it too serious. They're always the ones called triggered. Yeah, yeah, definitely. People do get triggered. I agree with you on that one, drone worship. People do get triggered on here, by different things. I wish people would take the time out to learn to communicate. I think that's one of the issues that people have when it comes to online friendships, and, them falling to the wayside, is because maybe, you just didn't take the time out to really speak to each other and respect each other, like you did in the beginning, and shout out to those people who, gain bonds and online friendships and that have really made it work. Shout out to those folks. Let's take a few minutes to say, you know what? Kudos to those people who have actually become close, like confidants, brothers, or like co-defendants or whatever. Not to be committing any crimes or anything like that out there, but shout out to those people who really hold it down, who stay true, who may become closer friends than those people, who in real life. Sometimes you find that person, that one in a million person, or that one in a thousand subscriber that you can confide with, like their brother or like their father figure or a mentor or something like that. That's always a beautiful thing. That's always a blessing to be able to do. Megan's blog. Appreciate you for coming through. Okay, now that that moment of silence is over, shout outs to the real trolls that have a clear internet of people that shouldn't be. Eh, yeah. Shout out to the trolls too. Shout out to the people that, do their little trolling and stuff like that. It's kind of funny that you mentioned the trolls though, drone worship. I've actually got along better with a lot of trolls than I did with certain people, who said they were cool. Thank you. Appreciate you, Megan's Block, for coming through. I know you out there halfway across the other part of the world. And it's always cool to catch you too as well. You're doing your diamond painting, or, you're just talking about different things that are going on in life and whatnot. I want to ask you folks out there, how do you feel about online friendships? What does online friendship mean to you, the viewer? Is there any pros and cons? What kind of tips or tricks do you have? Good evening, just in time prepping. I kind of figured you would be somewhere around there. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate you. Just concern safety, but aren't you guilty if you're judging someone unfairly because of your online friend? Um, it depends. It depends on the situation, about an online friend and whatnot. I mean, you could be judging individual and whatnot, as far as an online friendship is concerned, but it depends on the context. I have met some amazing people and made some amazing connections more than in real life. I agree with you, Megan's vlogs. I mean, there's people that you really could meet and you could make an amazing connection with. Some folks that you could really trust, some people that really bond with you, and sometimes if we want to talk about judgment, sometimes you meet people online and they could be, very open-minded towards you, your lifestyle, where you come from, and they're, less, willing to, shoot you down, like kind of like, be prejudiced against you, for whatever reason. You can find some really, genuine, beautiful people there. I mean, you have to search sometimes, but definitely you can find some lifelong friends or some people that, you would, take a bullet for, so to speak, not to get too dramatic. But I think it's important not to judge somebody, because they're an online friend and you meet them through certain means and whatnot, and you figure, well, maybe, they can't be trusted or they're untrustworthy and whatnot. Get to know people. But it does become kind of challenging, you know. Drone Watch says, even though, let me see, even though I'm a YouTube celebrity now, I still have a place in my heart for the little old Mel, the real Morpheus. Yeah, that's funny. Megan says I've also had the opposite end of the spectrum where people were not who they seem to be. That is true. I guess I have to spend some more time on that, Megan. I mean, I think you know about that. I think all of us at some point have had somebody who seems so genuine, they seem so true. You confide in them, you give them your telephone number, you meet up with them, you do all these different things, but you come to find out they may be the snake in the grass. And Just in Time Prepping says, I've met some good folks on here, but you have to be very careful. Yeah, I agree with you, Just in Time Prepping. I mean, I think you got to be very careful. One of the things I'll say you have to be very careful about is who you share your information with, what you tell people. Because I've heard the stories, or you've heard the horror stories about the Google Hangouts or the private chats or the private conversations that you had. The saying, when someone's need of you is fulfilled, true colors show. Exactly. I agree with you, Megan. I agree with you wholeheartedly. You preaching to the choir now. Just concerns safety, no, sir. You personally judge someone because of your online friend that lied to you. So how so you feel about hurting someone's feelings over a lie? Let me see this. No, sir. You personally judge someone because of your online friend that lied to you. How so you feel about hurting someone's feelings over a lie? Well, if you could judge a person, I mean, over a lie and do something unfairly. But here's the thing with that, Cargo, appreciate you. Thank you for coming through. Here's the thing about judging somebody over a lie. You have to know that it's a lie first in order to judge them. I mean, if I have a friend and somebody does something and it's a lie, you know, I can't figure out what's going on if I don't know that the thing that I'm being mad at them about or have an issue with them is a lie. So that's just um it is what it is. But yeah, hopefully that answers that situation. But just to talk about some of the things that folks was going through in the chat, you know, um, you can really, meet people that are not who they seem. Sometimes, we make mistakes about the people that we may, try to, be with. Maybe we may do things or judge people unfairly. There's a whole host of things that can happen when meeting people online. It's like you have to take the whole factor of it that you're adding the technology, you're adding the time zone differences, different things that come into being known. I just find it easier to hate everyone. Well, drunken one, I believe you don't hate anybody. Chuck Norris is my dad. He solves all my problems for me. I don't have to worry about anything. Well, that's just what it is. That's crazy. Shit, it's still a lot of pain. Well, sorry to hear about what's going on, Mr. Cap. Mr. Kaplan. Sorry about that. Hopefully, I'm saying that right. But tell Cap thoughts and prayers with it as well. No discrimination that way. Um, Definitely hoping for the best with that. Uh, but like I said, hoping all of you are good. You know, I guess this conversation can get a little tricky because like I said, everybody has different ways that they are with people. So it's kind of crazy. I think it's important not to put a whole bunch of expectations on who you meet online and what's happening. I'm okay going to Taco Bell because I can, and it's winning for real champions. That's interesting. Sound like I just read a promo for Taco Bell. But kudos to you. One time I got sick eating Taco Bell, but that's a long story I'll tell for another time. So anyway, back to the matter at hand. You know, be wary of Taco Bell. Um, but in real life, um, even online, you just got to be really careful. Like just in time prepping was saying, Llama Monster, appreciate you. Shout out to you um, for anybody coming in, talking about online friends. Time reveals. Appreciate you for coming through. This is a cop out. People choose sides over a lie and don't do any research on their so-called YouTube friends. They let subscriber counts cloud their judgment. Well, maybe subscriber counts may cloud somebody's judgment. I don't know. You know, when it comes to online friends and whatnot, it's important not to expect a whole bunch out of people. Let it grow over time and develop. Let people become comfortable, with getting to know you and being around you. Or be careful. No matter how cool somebody is, I usually ignore myself and I do what I want. I actually believe you, Llama Monster. For some reason, I actually believe you. But I say when dealing with online friendships and different things like that, it's important to be transparent with people and be honest and be real with them. Gauge where the relationship is. Know that there's certain things that you probably can and can't say when it comes to certain people. There's certain things that people may not be comfortable in doing. And don't be mad at folks, for being a certain way. It's just what it is. Yeah, start off hugging your YouTube friends, and then when you feel comfortable enough during your next hug, just smell them a little bit and take it. Yo, I'm not smelling anybody. I'm not gonna hug them and smell them. I like the Mel Mel. You're real though. I could be fake Llama Monster. This could be the fake Mel Mel. Let me take off my mask. But anyway, I don't know. I just think it's important to, be realistic about with yourself, about what you expect from people. Be realistic about who you are to other people. Yeah, Llama Monsters in the chat room for those people that want to know. Just be realistic about who you are and where you come from. And what's what. Don't hold grudges against people unfairly. If there's something that you need to hash out, try to find people, talk to them privately. Pink kisses. Appreciate you. Long time no see. Well, Silver Top Flyer, where have I been? This is actually my third live stream in 2 days. So I asked the question to the people that said that, where have you been? But it's all good. Leave it like forever. Yeah. Love and peace to you all. Appreciate you for doing it. No drama. Key is the key, I believe. I say that just in time prepping. No drama is definitely the key, but sometimes you're gonna have drama. You're gonna have issues with folks. You're gonna have things that you may want to talk about or not want to talk about, and that's cool. I guess the thing is to try to be respectful towards people, to give people space. You're a nice guy, but you really used and fooled by your YouTube friends, and it caused you to treat someone else badly, and they did not deserve it. Well, here's the thing. I'm a nice guy, but you were really used and fooled by your YouTube friend, and it caused you to treat someone else badly, and they did not deserve it. Well, I don't know what you're talking about, just concern safety. I don't know who I treated badly. I don't know what happened. I'm not perfect, but all I can say is I'm here now. If anybody wants to contact me on the private chat or off scene or whatever, that can be arranged. I really don't know what you're talking about. I'm not fooled by the subscriber count. I take it for what it is. I'm a real person. I got real emotions and real issues. Some things I speak on, some things I don't speak on. Stuff has happened with me online, offline. It is what it is. I'm not scared of a little hug. Well, I'm not scared of a hug either. With consent, I'll give somebody a hug if you really want a hug. I can give you a hug if you really want a hug. I try to give people their space. I don't put people and crowd people in certain situations. I just let it be. Like I said, I deal with people on how comfortable they feel dealing with me and vice versa. I try not to invade anybody's space. I try not to put unrealistic expectations on people. Um, yeah, you're funny. You're funny. Yeah, I know Drone Worship would give you a hug, so that's funny. Maybe we'll get a picture of me and Drone Worship hugging. But for the person in the comments that was saying that I let the subscriber count get to my head, I really don't know what you're talking about. I got 1,500, over 1,500 subscribers. You know, it is what it is. Yeah. Yeah, I know it would be awkward and creepy, Llama Monster, but it's all good. I guess the point that I'm trying to say when it comes to this whole online experience is to try to be as transparent as possible, and try to just, be your most authentic self whenever you can, and try not to hide behind the facade unless you're playing a character. Somebody, a friend asked me that, am I on here playing the Mel Mel character and stuff like that, but regardless of whether or not you're playing a character or not, when you're dealing with people in private or away from the camera or in personal conversations, it's important to be as transparent as possible. Just to be clear, just to be clear, just concern is talking about me. I just wanted to see how far you would take that About me trying to convince you yourself you haven't done anything wrong. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, yeah. Okay, no problem. The person was talking to you. Okay, cool. So I got Drone Worship's subscribers in here talking to him. That's an interesting conversation. Anyway, um, I'm glad that's out the way. But for the most part, like I said, just try to be straight up with people. It's like the golden rule: treat others as you want to be treated. It's the same thing online as offline. If you have something that you want to communicate to somebody, don't be afraid to communicate to the person. If it's an issue or something like that, you talk to a person. If you feel like it's not something that you can talk to the person about, then that's what it is. Try to give people their space, and if it comes about, then, that's what it is. But also, too, I say don't go expecting a whole bunch from people as well. Remember that with online friends, people have families, people have obligations, people have, different things that they're doing. Don't, like put unnecessary pressure on people, be it male, female, gay, straight, whatever, people confide in you, whatever personal information people share with you, be respectful of the connection that people have with you. Just to get that out, you're really awesome, but when you're that influence, it's that. Oh, okay. That's something that's going on. That's a whole personal thing between you and drone worship. Anyway, that's interesting. I tell you, you lost everything back in October. Um, what? Yeah, I got some other side conversation going on. Anyway, for those folks that's having a side conversation, kudos to you. At least thank you for the views. I do appreciate that. Hopefully, to the people that have been watching thus far and hearing it, just my life. What's going on? Appreciate you, Lay. Thank you for coming through. Much love, much respect to you. Anyway, hopefully this has been helpful. Hopefully I said some things. Talking to Drone. Wait up. Let me see. Not talking to Drone, talking to you. I don't know who you are then. Um, Calm down, just concerned. There's no reason to come here and concern yourself with the concerns of other people. Okay. I don't know what's going on with those other side conversation. Anyway, I'm transparent to anybody out there that knows me. So whatever. But for the most part, like I said, hopefully this conversation was beneficial to you. Hopefully, to anybody that's watching in the replay gang, thank you for coming by. And just to sum it all up, like I said, be honest, be real about what you're expecting from people. Don't be afraid to, just tell people what you expect, to not put crazy undue expectations on other people. Get to learn people, know that real good relationships online grow over time. Also, like it's been said in this chat, know that everybody is not who they seem to be. If people are definitely looking to you for money or for what you can do or your subscriber count, then that could become a problem as well. I would never keep Taco Bell at arm's length. I'm sorry, Taco Bell has always a place in my belly. Well, I should have Taco Bell too as well. It's been a while since I had Taco Bell, but it is what it is. Shout out to Drone Worship and his comedic, thing. Maybe we need to talk afterward, Drone Worship. Maybe you can fill me in on some information. But anyway, with all that stuff being said, I think you folks get it. Definitely Drone is a very funny guy. But for what's being said, just be careful. Whoever you deal with online, just be careful. Because everybody's not who they say they are, and it really does take a long time, to sometimes build up those great, strong relationships and whatnot with different people. I think it's important as long as you're respectful towards who you're dealing with and talking to, and just being, forthright and open with folks. I think that'll benefit you, when dealing online. Don't do things that you wouldn't do in real life online, definitely. Be wary of your personal information and how quickly you actually get close to a person, and just take the time to get to know people. So that's just what it is. Really just take your time when you're on here dealing with people, regardless of who it is, regardless of how nice somebody may seem, regardless of how long you've been subscribed to them, regardless of how long you been talking to them. What's up, Crimson Fantasy? Just take your time. Take your time and let things develop over a succession of conversations and interactions that you may have with people. And like I said, if something is not right, or if you feel leery about a situation, then you back up. No harm, no foul. That's what it is. But I say try to keep it adult. Try to keep things above board. Whoa, Crim Daddy? Wow. I don't even want to know what that's about. But yeah, no, I was just talking about online friendships. Criminator. Oh my God, that's funny. I was talking about online friendships, the pros and cons of that Crimson Fantasy. And with that being said, I am about to get off of here. Let me see what Silver Top Fly says. What I'm saying is that all you got me through my YouTube family, my honesty. Oh, nah, there's nothing wrong with that. If you make friends with people on here and they become like family, there's nothing wrong with that, Silver Top. Definitely, there's nothing wrong with that. But I say grow slow, be wise, be careful of the conversation that you have with people, be very cautious, and don't be so quick to throw so much of yourself out there. Let people earn your trust. I think that's one of the things that I forgot to say in here. Let people earn your trust. Don't be so quick to just throw yourself out there. Be respectful of your family and stuff like that, or the people that are personally around you in your life. Even if you make friends with somebody online, be mindful of the fact that, you know what, your family may not know that person as well as you do. And, it's something that if your family is not comfortable with that, then, you know, be respectful of that. And I think if the other person on the other end is mature enough, they'll understand. But with that being said, I gotta go. It's been a half an hour. I got things to do, and so do you. But as always, thank you. Appreciate it. Just my life. As always, spread love. It's the Brooklyn way. Yeah, gotta cut the light out.